there everyone, and today I want to make a card using some designer decoupage papers. So they're basically pre-cut papers into flower shapes in this instance. So I've just got my standard cardstock and it's in craft cardstock. And basically all I'm going to do is pick out a few of these flowers. There's loads in this pad. I should have flicked through, but you'll see that there's loads in this pad, and basically I'm just going to take out a couple of them and begin to build up a flower until I'm happy with the colour scheme and the amount of flowers. So you can see here I've got a couple spare up at the top, but I've got my flower now, so I've put the other ones away. And now I'm going back to the first one I cut out, and basically what I need to do is cut around it. So I've got this cutout shape as the template, and I'm going to use this template to sponge on some ink colour as a background for my base card. So I've just put it on a bit of scratch paper so I don't get my mat dirty, and I'm just using these sponges. They're just basic makeup sponges. You can buy them really cheap from your local body care shop, that kind of place. And I'm just really lightly dabbing on some ink and just holding the template in place where I want it to be. You really mustn't move it, otherwise it'll spoil the crispness of the image. And when you're happy that it's inked up enough for you, you can just pull the template away, and you can see how much of a definite imprint you get just off that little bit of ink. So you don't need much. So here I'm just using some Stampin' Up! Eyelets, and I'm going to use this to hold the flower together. So I've just layered it up, and I was going to use this crocodile, except it wasn't quite big enough no matter where I pulled it from, so in the end I had to do them singly. And when I got to the biggest one of the stack, I had to use my Fiskars. They kind of, you hold them and then pull them and they spring, and when they spring they punch the hole out. They're quite good, but they're quite loud, so I can't use them at night. And so here I've just got the eyelet, and I've laid it upside down, and I'm just building the flower petal sheet by petal sheet up onto the eyelet. Then I'm just using the other end of this Fiskars eyelet setter to just set that big eyelet. And you can see there it's splayed out, so it's not going to move. Now I'm just kind of almost peeling at them at each petal to try and shape them. And I did it this way around for the first two layers, then I turned it over and I did it the other way around for the bottom layer. This is just to give it the most 3D effect you can do, and it looks most realistic then. And you can see here that there, it's quite 3D. And here I'm just wrapping a bit of string, I think 4 or 5 times around the center of the card, and then just tying it in the middle. Now what I do is get the string and loop it underneath all the wraparounds and then tie it. You can tie it in a bow or you can tie it in a knot, it doesn't matter, it depends what you want on display. And here I've just adhered some 3D stickers to my flower and then put it to one side, because I always forget to round the corners of my card before I've put on the details, so I did it this time. And then here I just needed to trim the ends of that string because it's sticking out a little bit. And I'm just laying it over the bow I tied because I didn't like it. I wanted the flower to be there. So here I'm just using a stamp. This is a stamp I made myself using, I can't even remember what font it was now, but I picked a font I liked and then I made a stamp. And this is using image pack stamps and stamp set. And here I'm just using Versamark ink to stamp on the card where I want the sentiment. These image pack stamps are just as good as your normal acrylic stamps. They're just slightly yellow. They look a little yellow. And here I'm just adding some white embossing powder and just using my heat gun here. So I thought it needed a little bit extra, and usually ends up being faux stitching somewhere. And I put some faux stitching to the left and to the right of the happy birthday. And then just to finish it off, I did some faux stitching in a similar line along the very top of the card. So that's today's card. I really hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you next time.